Hey everybody, Mikey Warren back at the Academy of Martial Studies with Matt for another full class session tonight. So tonight we're going to go over some of the basics of kicking. So that means we're going to be doing some shadow kicking. We're going to be kicking the air. So those of you that have trained with us before understand the principle behind anything that we do that's shadow or to the air or light. It's the air, even though it feels pretty permeable and that you can move through it, it's still a lot more of it than it is of you, which means it can kick your butt. So try not to do these with any snaps or anything like that. We're going to do some warm-ups, basically walking up and back the dojo floor here tonight. And that's just so we get in the habit of moving down towards our opponent, trying to move in, close the gap, and finish the fight. So we're going to start off in the background with some basics. So just as a review, we have from whatever side is the front side or lead side, odd numbers are going to be for that front hand. The even numbers are going to come from the rear side, and that only exception is going to be the kicks, in which case we have kicks that are designed to continue to walk a person forward. So at the beginning levels of these kicks that we work, the foot that's behind us will kick and step forward, taking ground each time. It's more natural, it's more in line with walking. Once you get more comfortable with some of those kicks, then we do what's called an offside kick, which is the front foot, which is skipping. Now, those are just simple front kicks. Those can be modified to side kicks too. But we're going to warm up just by doing some of these light punching and then kicking combinations, just running up and back. Maybe a little boring for you if you're just watching, so I recommend you find an open space, preferably clear from anything breakable, and join us. So without further ado, we're going to go all the way to the back here. We're going to start from an offensive fighting posture. And what we're going to start with is a simple jab cross or 1-2. So we're going to do a 1, 2, 7 or front kick. 1, 2, 7. Okay? Start that slow. So I'll just simply, for repetition purposes, let's say 1, 2, 3, and that's not going to be the name of the strike, just the number of the kick. Okay? So 1. Make sure you're defending your face with your free hand, keeping your eyes on your target, your chin tucked, head forward. 2. Again, maintain that defense. 3. Hands stay up. Proper fighting stance. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now in this 3, try to make it about waist or belt level. You can kick higher if you want, but the idea is when you're in your kit and you got your body armor, you got your mag pouches stuck out in a tactical environment, you're gonna be lucky to get waist level with all of that extra stuff Christmasing out. In real fights, if you can drop one up above the head, that's great. But for right now, waist level is the target. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go from a fighting stance to change direction. In order to do a turn around, I'm simply going to pivot on the balls of my feet and do a 180. And stay up. I know, complex, right? So with that again, 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna speed it up a little bit as we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Right? A little bit quicker, right? Start to get your heart rate going. Down on the shit mat. All right, now it's going to be one command, all 3 techniques. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're out of room. Door two. Now, I'll just say begin, and you'll just work your way down at your pace. With a little quickness to it. Begin. Be sure to maintain defense of the face. Good. Now the next one is going to involve more kicks. The idea is we're working the legs here a little bit. So with this, 1, 2, 3. That hook is going to turn our body. So we're going to turn into what's called a yapchagi or side kick. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Rear foot scoots in, knee comes up, heel comes out. Nice and waist level. Again, 1, 2, 3, waist level. If you can bring it up higher for training, it's okay, but remember, waist level is going to be more accurate for combat load. High kicks, if you want to work that butt for the glutes for the ladies and fellas out there. Again, we're going to start slow. 1 count for each movement. Protecting the face. 1, 2. On this 3 and hook, make sure your elbow is high so that your forearm is parallel to the floor, or if you're nautical types, the deck. So we got 3. Hands come in, rear foot skips, front knee comes up, kicks, and down. It's going to be the same side all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And turn. Look at that, get the right lead, so we're gonna do the other side now. Again, with this, when these hands come out, pop, pop, this sets up the kick, so it comes almost like a back kick. It's a side kick officially, but we want to approach it as if our hips are pushing our opponent away, just like it's a kick that's going back behind us like a mule. Target area, floating ribs, midsection, knees, thigh, shins are great targets for that. If Matt approaches me, the levels, just to show you those on a person, midsection, floating ribs. If I can catch his right side, it's preferred over his left because what's here? Liver. The liver. You pop that once, game over. Right? Hitting the hips or the thigh is going to cause him to shift back, stop and attack. The knee. We've already had enough corrections on there in the surgical bay. Shin, you can break a leg, or hell, even the foot. So this setup is hands, 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 pop. Raise the knee, just come straight down with it. So with the right lead, same pace since on the other side of the way back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then turn and get to the other line. All right, so with that now, it's going to be 1 command, same pace, all the techniques, all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and turn. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know what's next, right? We're going to add a thigh kick to this crescent. An 8, an ocho. Thigh kick, target area, outer, inner thigh area, impact area. Middle of the shin preferably. And that's so, if I have to come up, if my opponent moves in on me, if my target area, just keep this leg still, my target area for the perfect middle range kick, the middle of the shin, I'm going to hit it with a lot of impact and power. If he steps in and I'm committed, it becomes a knee hitting his thigh. If he scoots back, it becomes the top of the foot area where his shoelaces would be, the instep. So going for the middle area means if he comes in or out, he's still gonna hit knee, perfect spot in the shin, or even instep or top of the foot. So you want the toes to point as his leg comes downward. And that's a key thing. With this kick, you're gonna see us spin all the way around. Very, 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 very rarely are you ever gonna wanna do any kind of spinning in any kind of real fight all the way around to show your back to your opponent. The reason that you're gonna see us spinning here and practice though, is so that the momentum that carries through from this kick is allowed to flow naturally. So we're used to swinging through an opponent, okay? We don't wanna snap or whip those joints into place just yet. We want everything to be nice, smooth, and fluid. So we're gonna throw a couple hand techniques to get into this and drop that kick. So what we're doing for the hands, 1, 2, 3, and the 8. Okay, so from the a little further back, the other side, 1, 2, it's just doubling up on the jab, throwing the cross, and bringing the leg down. Now with this impact, as this leg comes through, 1, 2, pop, pop. We're gonna come all the way around. Should switch leads each time we go. So jab, jab, cross. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Switch leads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch leads. Jump off the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch leads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch leads. 1, 2, 3, 4. And work our way back. So now it's going to be one command, all 4 techniques. Ready? 1. Switch leads. 2. Get my feet caught up on the mats here. Great. 3. Switch leads. 4. And let the command go. Take your time, we're gonna work all the way down, turn, come all the way back. Same technique. And begin. Next drill, it's gonna be some slow motion still. We're gonna work these side kicks against the wall. 2 fingers, 1 finger, whole hand, depending upon how you need to support yourself. Put our hands against the wall, bring your knees up waist level, extend our kicks out to the side, knee comes up, leg goes out. You're gonna see a pattern here. So we're gonna change our angle. Ooh. All right. So, from this position, find my good friend the wall. I'm gonna put 2 fingers on. One hand's gonna protect in the face. The target's gonna be on my side. Now, for targeting, you still wanna look at your target in the fight. So, as I'm throwing the side kick, the side thrust kick out, I'm pushing with my heel, just like I'm trying to get my heel into a pair of boots that I'm pulling on. I wanna look down my shoulder. Hands are up, target area right down the shoulder. Bring your knee up. Exhale and extend. Push the heel, pull the toes. And back, keep the knee up. And 2. And back. Make sure you look down that shoulder. It's a little hard, but to get that good neck stretch going. And out. And back. And out. back, and out. Hold it. And back. And slowly down. And switch sides, so allow you to see it from the back side. Again, target area, down the shoulder. 2 fingers. Knee to waist level, hand protecting the face. Push out with the heel, out. Hold. And back. And 2. And back. And out. And back. And out. Hold it. Hold it. Try to turn the toes downward. Yes. And slowly bring it back. And slowly lower. We're starting light. Again, we're building his knees from several operations. This slow motion wall kicking develops a lot of power and control over the muscles so that when you just need to snap something out fast, drop something hard into your opponent, you're able to do so with a surprising amount of force, swiftness, and control. The key thing is control. So we're controlling the motion of the foot all the way out and back. Some common mistakes. If this is my foot, people will push, still have their toes pointing towards the sky. What we want to do is try to turn it downward so we can bring our heel more into the motion of the kick. I'll show that to you as we turn our rapidly agile tripod on top of a bucket on top of a bookshelf device here. So a common mistake people make is that when they bring this foot up, they extend it, so my toes are up, it pushes the weight towards your hips when you hit something, right? So if my pelvis is shooting back and my foot's up, the impact I'm gonna get is gonna turn me down. It's gonna take away my natural ability to stomp through something. Whereas if I have to drive into something and I wanna push my toes down, I've got a lot more power coming into the kick, pushing off my ground leg. So my legs are able to use their heels to snap into the opponent. It's much more powerful that way. Okay. So we're gonna work some mitt combinations now. So with these, Matt's gonna execute first the 1-2 and front kick. Now this front kick that he's gonna throw is going to be what's called a scoop kick. So his instep, you're gonna strike to what would be the groin region, which is a lifting kick off of this, okay? So he's gonna throw 1-2, that back foot. Oh, it's not wrong, but back foot. It is a front kick. Aha, yeah, there we go. 1-2, step, boom. He's on the next foot. 1-2, scoop. 1-2. Now, some of the things to look for with your partner when you're doing this, okay? I'm watching and waiting for Matt's hands to drop. When it does, you'll see bump, and I swat him. I'm also looking to see if he's holding his breath. Matt, were you?
Yes.
All right. Now this time we're gonna walk back, just a couple, and we're gonna swap back and forth just for a couple repetitions. Again, we're building him up from the ground up. It's gonna be a machine. But before we get to the fancy, just going crazy on a guy, we're gonna keep it simple. Besides, there might be some of my Marine buddies and brothers out there, right, Jarheads? Keep it simple. All right, so let's back up a little bit, get you some room. Okay, so 1, 2, pop. You guys saw how his hands dropped? I did too, kids. We know what's gonna happen soon. Oh, he's keeping his hands up, can't imagine why. Good. And I can alternate which mitt I'm holding level. I'm holding it right about belt level. If my groin sets here, well, I think that's enough to practice swinging through it. So swap sides again. Good. Making use of every bit of space we can while trying not to compromise the camera angle. Oh, it's coming. Good. All right, now I'm going to pass these to Matt. I can't move. There we go. Good. Good. Next drill, we're gonna work that side kick into things. So he's gonna set it up. 1, 1, 2, and from that setup, he's gonna pull it back. 1, 1, 2. We're gonna throw that kick in from the side, the 8, blast that side of the thigh. Okay, so it's gonna be 1, 1, 2, thigh. I'm just dropping the mid out here, keeping this hand up. That way when he drops his hands, quack, okay? 1, 1, 2, thigh. Good. Again. Good. Again. Good. Just keep your feet planted. Oh, go right back to where. Right foot was forward, facing high. So since you landed it here, that's all he has to do to work the other side. Sorry, we're just kicking. Okay, left foot forward. He's trying to sneak and not work his other side. Very clever, this one. 1, 1, 2, 8. Keep those hands up. 1, 1, 2, 8. Good. Up, up. Good. Now I'm just putting this over my thigh. I want him to blast through it. If I'm able to catch out here, hey, that's great. It just means I got really far back. But I want him to start tracking so he catches my thigh. On this thigh kick, these are great to have in the way, but your target is always the actual leg. So this time I'm gonna challenge Matt to catch my leg. If he's not able to skip that far, if he just doesn't feel it in his knees yet, the mid will be out there. I don't think he'll need it though. We shall see. Okay. Up, up, up. Good. Good, he got it. Good. Oh. All right, just switch leads, left lead now. What's left lead? Oh, sorry, right lead. Good. Swing it in there. There you go. Left lead. Gotta keep your hands up with this one at all times. Good. Watch that hand dropping now. Good. That's what I'm talking about. Now the other side you eat. Good. Good. It's not my evil grin at all. No, it's going to be control. And we'll do the first two slow, and we'll start over, okay? Once this hits, that's cue to take that full step back. My goal is to always land on the pad, okay? And again, slow motion. 1, 1, pop, pop. A little bit. Okay? Ready for a little more pepper on it? A little bit. All right. We'll keep the same side, same way. Just I don't want you to get mixed up holding, that's all. Good, we'll walk our way back. So now it's my left leg kicking, right leg, right leg going. So 1, 1, 2, protect your thigh. Good. We'll do that once more, slow motion. 1, 1, 2, protect the thigh. Good. Gotta get that pad out there, man. That's better. Feels better too, doesn't it? All right, so left lead now, my right leg kicking. So switch your leads. There you go. Oh, it's pop, pop, boom, and you just drop from it. There you go. Skip working. Okay, here we go. Don't worry, that one was off camera. They didn't see your face, Matt. All right, now it's my right lead, so left kick. So it's gonna be 1, 1, 2. Here we go. Ready? Oh, you're mad. Back up now. It's true, it's self-teaching tool.
Thought it was on the wall.
But it's okay if your partner doesn't back up. You still want to control where you hit. And I control the level of power I throw on my kicks on his legs to adjust for his feeling like he's up against the wall, even if he's really not. So it teaches you to still track and watch your opponent. For harder thigh kicks, when we really want to blast it, we'll use full kick shields, put some thigh protection on so we can really just blast away. But for this right now, it's put a little bit of pain, get you used to not having anything there to feel safe about getting kicked in the thigh. So those shaves, and throw that thigh kick at me, please, Matt. You learn to shave and get used to those kicks coming in. Dajjal helps if you get any bruising along this process. So we're warmed up. We did some basic striking. What we're gonna get into now are arm bars. So we're gonna start with the classic from the top mount. So, your head will be about here. Going towards the camera, yeah. And what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna lower the camera angle here just so we can get a better view for this. There's a Zumba class behind us has gone full on salsa merengue. That's awesome. Chacarron, chacarron, chacarron. I think that's level. If it's not, sorry folks. What are you gonna do? It's a cell phone. All right, so taking top mount, and my control position here is again his torso because I have my thighs, and Matt's got to learn to relax again. So to do this, he's feeling extra squished. What I'm hoping he'll remember is to slightly angle his hip, just slightly skyward. Hey, look at that. He's got normal power and color to the face again. So there's two basic ways that we're gonna see this arm bar set up for the most part. The first one is usually when you get somebody pinned down, they panic, they try to push you up. You get straight arms, like, yay! I've used this in MMA fights with, if somebody managed to get the top mount position, to debate them. I'll even just do one arm and just push it there. And the guys look like, oh my God, I got the arm. And I wait until they're falling and I'll just, and come up and just beat the hell out of them. But I'm gonna show you how to set it up in a manner that gives you maximum control. So, in the army method, the way that they teach, they bring one hand over, one hand under, because they want to bring your torso around, get up underneath this joint, isolate it so your whole body works against this joint right here. I'll demonstrate the army method. I place my hands, I squat, I stay low, I bring this leg over his head. We want to keep the head down in this because I'm going to work a straight arm bar, and as his arm gets locked, watch what his shoulders do. There you go, he sat up. So, all right, so if you start to feel this, just sit up, Matt. Oh, the abs, oh my God, right? So keeping the head pinned downward allows me to put maximum leverage on this shoulder joint, which is gonna allow me to maximize isolation on his elbow. This is what's gonna break, okay? So with this arm up, I have one arm over because my one leg's gonna go over. So I'm gonna isolate all four of my limbs around this one joint. So I'm gonna bring this leg over, his head, holding him down. I'm gonna slide down his arm like a telephone pole. My goal is to stay as close to the shoulder as I can. And when I'm falling back, I wanna keep a good tight control by pulling him up. I wanna have his thumb skyward, away from me, so that it locks the joint. If his thumb is down, and I go to pull, he's got a leverage point. If he pulls it up this way, well, your arm will bend that way, it's natural. I wanna have it locked out here. I pinch together with my knees so that I can help trap and further isolate this tricep region with just pinkies. Squeezing down towards my chest, raising my hips, and I'm gonna get a motivated tap. And that's not bad. But let's talk about some ways that we can tighten this, okay? So once I fall here, I wanna have my arms wrapped around his. So I can put this arm over top, control. So you notice this is a figure four lock, just like we were doing with the Kimura, the Americano, a whole bunch of other locks. We're trying to keep this as common as we can, so these are common holds. From here, trap his heel. I want to pull this up towards my chest so that when I slide back, I have already stretched him out. And notice there was no hip raising, none of that, or a lot of muscle fighting or anything. So the closer you can get your perineum up under his shoulder joint, the longer you can stretch that arm out on the way down, the more effective you're going to be. That can be pretty tricky to do, especially considering a lot of people have probably seen an armbar before. Have you, Matt?
Yes.
Hey, he's seen one before. See what I mean, folks? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a way to set this up. All right, so I'm in a position here, and I want to put some pressure on the outside of this arm. I don't want to come so far forward that I fall on my face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to base myself out. Hands and knees down low. All right, he's got his elbows in and whatnot. So he's protecting himself. So what I want to do is I want to get one of these arms up. So I'm going to bring my arm under and around his elbow. I'm going to use my leg back here to assist in lifting both of this up. So go ahead and tuck your elbow. So I'm going to come under my arm. Go ahead and resist a little. I don't need a lot of resistance if you want. Stepping up with my leg. So I have his arm. From here, my hand's going to push across his face as my body weight now is pulling up on this arm, and I'm using the back of my thigh to keep this pressure on his shoulder. So I step here, and when I slide back, what you saw, Matt, your opinions?
That's pretty evil.
Evil, pretty evil. Pretty evil is good. Mojo would approve. So I'm going to show you that once more. We'll do this side. All right, so he's protecting himself. He's got his elbows down. He doesn't want me to walk all the way up. All right, so he's got his elbows into the thighs. I'm not striking, so he doesn't have to worry about protecting his face yet. So he's here in the good defensive posture, trying to keep his elbows down. So what I want to do is I want to rock a little bit. Boom. Keeping a low base, spreading out my base. I have my forearm or at my elbow nook under his elbow. I'm going to use this outer back leg here to walk forward. So my body weight is now fighting this arm. Just nudge it across. From here, my hand's going to slide from his arm to turning his face away. Body weight stays low, still sitting on him. Hips are still trapping this arm. And this arm is ready to pull up. Boom. All right, Matt, think you can do that, bro? We shall see. Let's do it from the cross section. Switch on here. Sorry. Inch your shoulders, folks. Going for console next week, so he's gonna look that. All right, so I'm down here. My elbows are down. All right. Yep. So this is the arm he's gonna take. Now, unless he's striking me, and if we're doing just straight jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna keep my elbows down because I don't want to walk up. And walk up. The more he walks up, the easier all this is gonna be. All right. So let's get back. Now, his biggest danger while attempting this is that I would try to compromise his balance, cause him to go forward, off to the side. So the way he counters that, he gets all four limbs on the ground, spreads out as much as he may need to. Bang. Good. So he's going to take his far side arm, and he's going to just bring it back and scoop it up under my elbow. Boom. Now I'm resisting, holding this arm down and resisting real tight. So he's using his leg to get up there. Look at that. That's awesome. Now, that hand that's going to push my arm over, your right hand across my body is going to transition from there to my face. Yeah, now use your body to fill this gap. There, do you feel that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what we're doing here is I'm showing him that when he transitions, because he wants to push this arm across my body just a little bit, but if he just goes straight to the face press, there's a gap. I can pull my elbow back out. So to mix that, he's going to flatten his chest on me. Now, it ain't going nowhere. So he's going to use this hand to help push, now keep it on my face, to use this as a standing board, almost like a handrail, so he can get his right leg around my face. Go ahead.
You don't need to wrap your hands this one, you're not going to be
Now, let's say I'm in a position where I'm fighting. All right, so he's in a position to sit up, scoot in, use your legs, there. Squeeze your knees together and slide back. Now, this is a legit tap. Matt, were you ready for me to tap that early?
No, I thought you had plenty of resistance left.
Right? So what he just got was the right amount of elevation and leverage. So the way he got his elevation is he first fell back, he's like, vroom, he's gonna have to fight it. So I'm like, hey, sit up. So he just rocked up. He just scooted just a little. And that little bit of a scoot in pulled everything tighter so that my shoulder socket was underneath his perineum. And when he rolled back, by the time his back hit the ground, my arm's at full extension. When the time his shoulders are going, I was already going beyond full extension. Now, as always, whenever you're grappling, tap early, tap often. Tapping's how it's done, man. Now, in our website, Tapping Won't Save You, we're talking about the life or death fight. But here on these mats, you never lose, ever. You either win or you learn. Tapping is learning, okay? So, let's do that again, Matt. We'll do it north, south, center. So in a good position. He's gonna base out on all fours, boom. All right, so I got my stuff, we're good. He's gonna try to hook under that elbow, boom. Use his leg reinforced, good. Transitioning, good. Now, once he gets his leg over, okay, see this gap in my elbow, do you feel that?
Yeah.
Once you feel that you can swing your leg over and you got enough push off there, this hand, if you give me the weight, hooks here. Okay, can you guys see that on the camera? I know you can answer me, right? Totally. What's that? Lower, okay, yeah. So sit up a little bit more. All right, so you guys see how he's got my elbow here, right? Okay, cool. So he's pushing from my face, and when he starts to fall, this motion, just hand in your heart, pledge allegiance to the flag of I'm going to kick Mikey's arm and rip him apart. All right, so there we are. So transition from face to the leg. Good. Now he wants to adjust, so he sits up, digs under these heels, squeeze the knees together. That was even better. Much more gooder for my Marine buddies out there. All right, so let's do it again. We'll do it from this side just so you guys can see the transition. All right, so down low, he gets his low base. Boom, nice. He's hooking it, there it is. All right, let me give him resistance, there. Boom, nice. We'll press in the face. Go ahead. Now he's got a good arm bar, but that scooting, readjustment, really does it nicely. Good. Nice, man, nice. All right, so let's look at this from the guard position. Now we've established in the previous classes, the guard is still a dominant position over somebody being on top of you. You get your legs on the outside, you're gonna reestablish control. It's a dominant position when you're on your back, having your legs around the torso of your opponent. Because, Matt, come on in, just to review again, the torso is what I want to control on him. I can move him all over the place. I can use this for setup and everything, so I can control him. Versus, if he's off to my side, I can flail, I can try to get a position, but he's got the attack options. And ultimately, he can stand up and attack too. If he's on top, he has much more control because he can control my torso. You just hold your hands up and watch how I sit. Just maintain your base. All right? Not a whole lot I can do. I have to change my position. So you can see it, he has control, not just because he's sitting on me. That's minor. The fact that he's sitting on me with his legs controlling my torso is major. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll over, and he's going to keep me in his guard. All right, so he still has the dominant position. I'm on top. Yeah, I can swing punches, but as we saw in our punch block series defense, he's got 5 different stages that he can hold defense down and essentially works his attack. He's got control of my torso. So we're going to use this for a setup. Some of the things that people like to do from here is called like a stack. I want to stack his butt right over top of his head. So I may push to my feet and come into a stack. What am I doing with my arms? What, are they going straight?
Yes.
Oh. So let's work with that. Swap places. All right. So he comes into my guard. He's got his hands on my torso because he'd never put him on the mat. And he gets up here. So I feel this arm straight. Now this is a very easy setup for him for right now, but I want him to feel this initiator for the setup. So the 2 things I'm going to do is I'm going to pick which arm I'm going to attack, and I'm going to grab under the opposite leg. So I'm going to grab under his opposite leg, I'm going to slide down to his wrist. The goal here now is for my feet to reach across his face, just as if I was in top mount and I swung my leg over, okay? So here we are, under the knee, I have this wrist, and I'm going to use my leg to come across here. This turns my body perpendicular to him. And from this position, I can let go of his knee long enough to double down on his wrist, grab or hook with my thighs, and just push my hips up. Okay? From the other side. When he's in here, he may be just getting ready to slam me, come down with strikes. He may rise up, so I may see that, boom, I deflected one. So he just threw a punch. I carried it over. It's the other side. Hook, pull.
Tap.
Okay? Now you see how we do a lot of these rolls and trims. Think you can do that, Matt? Let's give it a shot. All right, so falling back, I'm in the guard position. He's got good control. All right, and I'm giving him a reason to attack. You can kick off shoe jumping if you want, sir. It's all welcome. It's free to everyone. We just record for the folks back home.
I was just gonna watch that.
Okay.
Pretty interesting move.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so pressure is good here. He's got control. He can start to move my hips. So I could try to do the jiu-jitsu game, play a guard break and stuff like that, but I decided, screw it. I'm going straight in. I want to ground and pound. So I push off of him, stand. I get ready to hit, okay? That first defense that he wants, let the outside hand, we got this in protect the face, just parry it, parry. There it is, okay? So which arm are you gonna come over? There it is. So this arm's gonna trap the wrist, which one's gonna hook the knee? Under. Okay. I'm sorry, you got it right. Let's stop down. So chance here, hook under the knee, under. Okay. And he's gonna use this arm here to pull his head towards the camera. Okay. This allows him to move and sweep his body weight. Okay. All right. So he's got his legs up. Sorry, I had it ready first time. But I want to show him the pull here. All right. So chance. All right. Which leg do you need to get over? So there's under. Pull yourself. Now, guy falls, do the sit-up, adjust, just as before. Cool. Sorry about the mix-up there, folks. I wanted to make sure you saw how he's pulling his torso in. So here we go again. All right, same attack side. It's up. I'm up. Push down. So I come up. Boom. Parries. Nope. You want to come behind the elbow. So here we go. Switch arms. Hand that parries, right? Keep that there. Boom. Boom. Get that snake bite. Knees together. Push the hips up. Good. Again, from here. Parry, trap, opposite knee, turn, and pull with your legs. Curl. There you go. Good. All right, we'll do it slowly on the injured side. Parry, pin, under, leg across. There you go. And good. Again, parry, pin. If I fall, gives him a chance to adjust. Knees together. Knees together. Now, see how your legs are straight now? Sit up, scoot up. Pull your heels towards your body. That's the control. You feel that?
Yep.
There it is. Okay. Same side again. Sorry, left side again. So you go behind the arm, push up, panic. You can start to initiate it from here, but I'm gonna see it come, change. You see a punch come, parry, there it is. Nope. Nope, think about it. Why would you punch? Why would you go and try to catch the other hand? Here,
You're coming off your foot because you're reaching.
parry, you already got it. Right there, just trap it to you.
You're not stepping in that. This shouldn't be a long shot.
Knees together.
It can be, but you're not trying to.
Good.
You're getting somebody at the end of your power.
Again, boom,
You're wanting to hit a
under,
and then run it through. Boom.
good. Fall,
You're hitting with any
get your adjustment, sit up, curl those heels, knees together, there it is. Good. All right, let's go a little further with that. Okay, coming into the guard. All right, so again, we're gonna go off that press where he's trying to stack and fold me over. So he gets to his position, he starts to stack. All right, and I see that punch come, but for some reason, I'm not able to get that hold of that hand because he's moving fast. So what I'm gonna use is this leg to hook under his armpit with my opposite foot, one back here, catching on the inside of his hip. So he's gonna go here. I'm gonna push my leg over, and I have an arm. This arm, and cross my belt, trap my arm across his back so he's not able to get to a base and roll, and we'll change angles on this in a second. Okay. Come on in, we'll do the other side, the other punch. So this one is a omoplata setup. So he starts to stack. That left hand comes, I'm like, whoa, crap, that was quick, crikey. So from here, I don't have enough to grab anything or he's too quick. So pull your arm in. All right, so we're fighting over this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the opposite side of this punch here to bring this back leg up and over. So this is gonna be a push and a pull. Pull that arm out too. So I have his arm now across my belly, and we'll show it from the top side too. This hand comes across his back, so go ahead and get to a base mat. Get to a base, all 4 knees. And as soon as he feels his torso, he can tuck his chin and just shoulder roll out. Shoulder roll forward. Or to the side if I got you. Come on back. All right, left shoulder roll. Tuck your chin and roll. Hey, he's out. Hey! All right, so the shoulder rolls and stuff work again. So we'll try this off angle here. Same arm, left hand punching. So he's got up, he's stacked. I'm like, oh crap. I go here, he pulls his hand up, so I'm riding it. Trapping this arm. Foot pushes his hip out. This leg's gonna slide up his torso to catch him here and step down. So I've got this foot trapping his shoulder, this leg under, okay? This arm's got his arm straight. I'm gonna use that, start to stand in base a little. Now that control across the back of his arm is done in the near side, so that if he tries to get to his base, go ahead, I'll give you some space on your shoulder. Try to roll. He's going nowhere. But as soon as that arm's out, go ahead and tuck your shoulder roll again. Now you gotta roll to the left. There it is, he's out. He can come back in and attack. And of course, I oversaw it coming, so I got him back in my guard. So we'll try this again. All right, he pushes. Whichever punch he throws, I ground it. I bring my arm up. Foot pushes, steps, pulls, sit, block. Now I got an arm, so what I'm gonna do with this arm? Break it. All right, let's bring your head towards the mat. Belly down, and we'll walk through what I can do with this arm control here, okay? So, it's so much easier with multiple cameras, I get it, but you know, Hollywood, right? So, smaller back, got this here. My pressure to keep him down is gonna be in this top leg. So I have this armbar here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on here, and I'm gonna pull this arm up, across my body. Once I get this arm bent, okay? Go ahead and try to pull it out, Matt. I mean, really sit up, try to find your position.
Nothing.
Now, I'm not holding the small of your back, so what could you do? Oh, that's right. I start to realize I can put it back. So the trap is my torso holding the back of his arm, the top of my knee holding back his tricep, and my heel coming in so he's not able to twist his way out. Now, what I'm going to do, if you guys remember the Urban Fight Fit card, kneeling sit through of death. Remember I always say push the hips forward?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he remembers. So I go here, I shift, I weight forward, and I'm just gonna push my hips forward. I'll do it very slow. That Kimura that we worked, guys, this is it right here. Just using my legs, or heck, leg. My whole body weight's on this one joint right through here, so keep your mat. Okay, so without my body weight being in here, my leg's is over on top of the top anterior portion up here, superior. Got my hips underneath this arm, so my hips are doing this to his hand. But you see how his shoulder's naturally coming up? If my leg's there, see the difference? Okay, so I'm gonna do this once more, medium speed, then you will do it to me a half dozen times. All right, folks, here we go. Come on in, Matt. I don't know which side he's gonna throw. Could be either or. So apologize if it's a bad camera angle. All right, so I'm down here, get on my guard. He's stacking. I said punch. Oh crap, it's there. Pushing, controlling it with my legs. I got it locked in. Oh, man, all right, he's not sitting up. I got his back controlled. So I'm gonna put my weight on him. And I'm gonna push that elbow in there. Ah! Then one release. That won't actually do. Well, I would, but not the camera. All right, so what I'm using to get that momentum to carry me from this position here to this position here is my opponent's hips and torso. All right, so come on in, Matt. So you don't really have to be super flexible, all right? Roll that toe touch. Come back up to your feet as best you can, lock them all the way up. See this motion? That's all you gotta do, just do it a couple times. Just roll back, just get the rolling motion. Just a couple times, that's it. Now, on this third time, he's gonna roll back and he's gonna twist so he faces the other way. Now he came all the way over. He's all extra. So over here, you can roll, pretty simple. And when you learn to twist your body, you roll back. So even if you don't have a partner to work this directly, you can still work the basic motion. All right, ready, Matt? Even if he's not, he will be. All right, so he's got me in his guard. All right, I decide to stack him. All right, so that punch, he goes forward. He doesn't have enough to get that arm bar. So what is he gonna do? He's gonna bring the near side push. This is gonna push me. Oh, no, you had it right. This is gonna push. This is gonna come over top. So turn, 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 turn. That's it. Keep going down. Sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up, sit up. Keep sitting up. Keep sitting up. Bend those feet towards you. All right. Shift your weight into your right hip. Right. Look at the camera. Make sure you get it. There you go. All right. I'm going to validate it. Ready? All right. Now, when he wants to finish this off, he's going to have to shift his weight. You got it across your belly, right?
What's that?
Is this arm across your belly? Yep. Okay, good. So you're going to shift your belly button towards the direction you want to break my arm. You got to come up onto your knee a little bit. That's it. Keep pushing. That's it.
Okay.
So your body, I don't want to say come up 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, because sometimes fellas lie about inches or they don't know how to measure too well. Other times your femur may be longer or shorter. Guys, humerus may be longer or shorter. But what you want to do is have that weight coming up so your hips are thrusting forward. Okay? That's your submission again. All right, here we go. So he's got me in the guard. Ah! I'm going to stack you and crush you. Ah, I need my punch. Almost. As soon as he's there, let's push the hook. Boom. That's, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So he's got the straight arm right now. Now, what he's going to do is he's going to, if I just push that up, and now it's on the near side of his belly. Oh, look at that. That's the good stuff there. So again, show that hip posture. Good stuff. For obvious reasons, we're only really to the one arm underneath right here. Sorry, folks. I gotta look at see if it needs to get cut on or whatnot Wednesday. Now, straight arm, he did it, but he had to really push his hips up. Once you took that arm and you brought it across your seatbelt to the near side, so my arm, instead of being like this, came in like this. Was it easier or harder, Matt?
Much easier.
Well, folks back at home?
Much easier.
All right, describe to them what you could feel as far as in the joints go.
So across the front of the shoulder, it was stretching, separating, and in here, you're getting pressure here, and then the separation towards the back of the shoulder.
Was it muscle dependent?
No, not at all.
It's more momentum and position, right?
Yeah, it's all my hips.
That's right. As our lady Shakira said, they don't lie. They can cause a lot of trouble, and lots of child support payments, but they don't lie. Often. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, so there, he's got his control. We go with the stack. That punch comes in. Boom, he pans it, opens. He's going to kick up and over. Get that momentum. Good. Transition. Good. Fighting that arm. Just, yeah, look at that. He's even got the wrist lock on it. It's awesome. Good. All right, work that transition again. Good. Now, this time, straighten it out. We're going to deal with, let's scoot ourselves this way so you can, folks at home can see this transition. All right, start with the straight. Now, show the transition. It's getting on the near side of my body, crossing around his hip there, okay? Show the shift from there. Good. So now let's say he's here, and I don't want my arm to go bent because I know it's really bad, right? Let's try to transition it. All right. So what he can do is he can put his weight on my body, and that gives him enough leverage to start using his legs to pull my arm up. See that? All right. Press, pull again. There. Once he gets that little break in the elbow, fold like butter. Good. Again with resistance. All right. This is really subtle. What he's doing is he's shifting his weight towards me to put extra leverage on that arm with his top leg. Go ahead. I'm resisting. Transition. There it is. Boom. And shift. Good. So what he's doing there is he's got it. He's got that straight arm. He's like, all right, punk, I'm going to put my weight towards you. And he's using his legs to get that pull. He can sit and fight my arm against his arm. Depending upon how many reps I do at the gym, I might win. But I'm willing to bet 3 fat babies to a jelly donut, his legs are going to overpower my triceps. I have 3 muscles here trying to hold this arm straight with supporting elements from the deltoids and everything. And those are starting to get compromised because of my position. So when his quadriceps, hamstrings. So it's 4, all right, 5, 6, all these large, gigantic, enormous muscles working against these 3, although quite awesome triceps, but it's nothing that's gonna catch up to him and his hip flexors too. So he's like, wah. Once he gets it here, ha, snaps right into place. Then who's gonna tap now? And that little shift is what does it. It's very subtle, right?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's less than an inch, inch and a half.
Oh, distance, right. All right, guys. So this is a little sneak peek of what we're doing tonight. As always, hit us up if you got questions, tappingwon'tsaveyou.com. Just here, I'll try to get this uploaded as quickly as I can. It just really sucks we don't have like Wi-Fi down here. We're literally underground, so we're underground and underground. That's crazy. So keep training. I've seen some good questions pop up there. Share this out with your buddies. This will be on the YouTube channel. It'll be in the Facebook group and stuff like that. And I also want to talk to you again about our friends at 5 Star Nutrition. Check it out. Would you like to win $5,000 or more, maybe 6? Maybe if you could do a runner-up, maybe $500 worth of free supplements and stuff like that. Well, check it out. It's that new year, new me BS, right? But why don't you take advantage of it and truly make a transformation instead of just an affirmation? You can affirm all you want. People can raise their hands and say, I'll serve my country. But whether they can actually make it through basic training, through combat, and into their units and integrate well, a whole different story. So let's go from an affirmation to a confirmation. Let's show that we can actually do something good and improve ourselves. Matt's out here, he's sweating, he's getting back into things, he's doing things that are right for him. He's improving his diet, he's got the right supplements going to him. Now making sure that you can get the right stuff in your body to maximize your health and your growth and transformation is essential. Now, I don't need anything for mentioning it. I'm just telling you, eat healthy, eat smart. Whole foods are great, but when you're training a lot or when your body really starts to break down, it's important to get the right stuff and the right nutrients in your body. So 5 Star Nutrition comes into play there. Now 5 Star Nutrition knows it's a new year. So they have those people that want to get out there and they want to try to get those affirmations turned into confirmations, but they may need a little help because they may not have the right guidance, or they just may be a little weak, or just not have that time, or stop by and get tacos on the way home instead of just making a milkshake or something like that with a good protein and a little fat-free skim milk, whatever it may be, whatever your diet is, okay? There's always room for improvement. So 5 Star Nutrition is going to give you an incentive to that. They're running a contest that starts real soon. We'll put up the flyers and stuff here. You'll see it. But you can weigh in for those of my friends here in the Annapolis Road area out here by Fort Meade. And you're going to have a set period of time. It's kind of like the Biggest Losers, the Biggest Winner. But they're going to weigh you in, body fat percentages, all this good stuff. There's a lot of details coming. My good buddy Adam out there just sent me a picture of a flyer today just to let everybody know. So letting you guys know. But there's a chance for people to trim and win. All right, so there's gonna be cash prize for the winner, and there's gonna be cash value of awesome healthy supplements for the runner-ups, and we'll get the details out to you guys soon. If you haven't added 5 Star Nutrition Fort Meade to your Insta, to your Facebook and stuff like that, go ahead and do that. There's just really good people. I really want to support people that are really doing good things for good people. They helped shave 4 inches off of my midsection when I wasn't even able to run, when I was just out there just marching all day and stuff like that. So if they can give me the right nutrients to help me heal up, to help get this going, it's not nearly as bad as what the doctors thought it was going to be based upon the type of injury. So I'd say getting the right foods and the right supplementation to help for those little gaps when you're not able to eat right all the time is critical. So enough of the lecturing, I'll get off the soapbox and just say, hey, share this out, share it out with your friends. And as always, close the gap, tapping won't save you. I'm Utah. And I'm going to push the button right about now.